What's up, Layer Gang? I'm back with another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you guys how to do a crop top with a mid-drop fade. Let's get started. We're going to make our first guideline, no guard, with our lever all the way open. For drop fades, I like to start my guideline right above the ear. That gives me a good peak point and allows me to create that drop effect with my guideline in a very smooth manner. If you guys watch my other videos, you already know I like to make my guide on one side, move to the other side, and connect them in the back. After putting in the first guideline, we're going to go ahead and slap our 2 guard on open, and we're going to take this through the motions to set the base to our fade. What that means is this is going to be the longest length in our fade that we're going to be blending into. After we set the base to our fade, we're going to go ahead and put our second guideline in. We're going to do this with our hitters or your balders, whatever you're using for balding. And we're going to set the height to our fade using this guideline. You want to be really light-handed with the clipper. Make that guideline as soft as possible so it's easier to blend moving on to the next step. Next step is lever play. We're going to go ahead and play with our lever, open, middle, close, do whatever it takes to take that line out without passing that no guard open guideline. Now we're going to go ahead and slap our 1.5 guard on. I'm going to start open and take this through the motions. If this is the first time you're rocking with me, the motions means open, middle, close. Those 3 steps collectively I refer to as the motions. This step is going to really lighten up that base that we set, and it's going to prep us for the next guard, which is the number 1 guard. We're going to do the exact same steps, take it through the motions, open, middle, close, and prep it for the half guard. I've got my half guard on, and I'm going to go ahead and take this through the motions and finish lighting up that base to completely transition it into the initial no guard open guideline. Gang. Now that I've finished my blend, I'm going to go ahead and use my shear over comb technique to connect it to the top. This allows me to selectively cut bulk and maintain that heavy blend that I'm aiming for. After completing that side, we're going to go ahead and move on to the other side and start using our lever play to take out that initial guide. So after you've seen the complete steps to achieving the fade on the other side, I just want to show you how you can do those steps in any order. As long as you execute them correctly, your blend will come out fresh. Now I'm doing shear over comb as my second step as opposed to my last, just to show you that you can do these steps in any order. As long as you execute them correctly, you come out with that blend, boy. Now we're going to go ahead and slap on our 1.5 guard, and we're going to take that through the motions. With this step, we're really just trying to lighten up our base, and it is considered blending, so you want to use a lot of corner work. The only time you want to use your blade flush is when you're debulking or setting a guide. Continuing to fade down, we're going to move on to our number 1 guard and take that through the motions. Again, I'm using a lot of corner work to lighten up that base and prep it for my half guard. And now with my half guard, I'm going to completely knock out that last line in the base and transition it into our initial no guard open guideline. Here I'm going to do some lever play just to really polish up that blend. Moving on to cutting the top, we're going to go ahead and start to prep. This means wetting and pre-styling. And then I'm going to go ahead and take off some length using my point cutting technique. So what I'm doing right now is setting my traveling guide. And what a traveling guide is you set it and then you just keep bringing it with you everywhere you go until everything is set to that guide. So as you can see, I keep bringing that guide back, and that way I always have it with me to know what length to cut the hair to. Alright, so after that we're going to position ourselves on the side of our client and just check for any hairs that we missed using our traveling guide. Now I'm going to move on to doing some slide cutting. What this is going to do is going to help me create some aggressive texture lines, and you'll really see that when I style his hair. So lastly, we're going to just do some more point cutting, but we're going to cut every other hair, and what that's going to do is create a lot of texture and movement from when we style it. So now I'm going to quickly blow dry it with my round brush, and we're just going to blow dry it down. I make sure everything is dry before moving on to my hitters, that way the hair will cut a lot easier. And I'm going to go ahead and just detail everything up, put a line on the fade with my hitters. Remember, when you're putting a line on, you want to make sure it's as natural and sharp as possible. To the foil shaver, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up my client's face and then put the final touch to our blend. The foil shaver is what makes everything really pop. A lot of people like to overdo it, but for me, I like that soft, nice stretch blend, so I only balled out the bottom of my blends, and that gives me that real blurry effect. Now we're going to go ahead and use our straight blade to go over all the work we did with our hitters. This step really makes the lines pop and adds that final detail. On to the final step, style. I really want to achieve a textured look, therefore I'm going to use a matte product that's blurry matte. This will give me the hold and matte effect that I need to really make my texture defined. So now I have a wide tooth styling comb, a rake comb, and I'm just going to comb everything down and then to the side and then hit it with those diagonal aggressive lines in both directions.